Guys, welcome back to Site Visit. We are back in Cambridge today, and if you can believe it or not, we're actually delivering this unit in just 2 days to the client. It's a tight site today. We have a lot going on. We have a big, massive clean out happening this afternoon. I know you guys have been paying attention to this job since we started, and even more so on the Revealed series with the amount of millwork going on. Starting in this entryway, we have this dark blue cabinetry, but I wanted to show something. This is about like thinking and pre-planning and things like that. We have this coat closet in here, and we have this access panel. We use these plastered in access panels. You push on it, tilts out, and what is actually behind it, I'll show you here. And this is where, you know, kind of pre-planning really pays off, is that, of course I whacked that. But what this is actually behind the washing machine and dryer, so you can access the valves. A lot of times we don't have access to the valves in a small closet where these machines are gonna live. So we have the opportunity here to tuck something behind the coat closet, and now we always have access to that. Put this back in. And these access panels are actually made by Balco, B-A-U-C-O. I know you guys have asked a handful of times. Super clean looking. But let's get into some of the cooler stuff. So right here real quick, this is our elevator closet. We have a one-stop elevator in this unit for basically aging in place. Some awesome millwork. This is all a taboo veneer. You're gonna see this used in a couple different spots. And then the kitchen is actually a laminate and a painted material. So in what we're calling the courtyard space, it's an old industrial loft. You have these awesome roof trusses that have been painted this really, really dark gray. We built this, we fabricated this staircase to match. You use a C-channel painted to match. Really, really cool how you have the gray that matches all the trusses, and then a raw brushed stainless. The staircase was fabricated by Rich Costa, and then we have some oak treads that we installed underneath. The finish on the floor is actually a slightly muted oak. Super popular right now. Obviously we've done that in our ComAb job. You can kind of see a peek of it. It has a little bit more gray hue to it than what we're doing over in our Back Bay project. Let's go upstairs. So I mentioned that taboo veneer you're gonna see in a couple different spots. You see it up here. This is what we're calling our sitting room. So this is the main bedroom. It's actually the only bedroom in the space. But this is a sitting room cabinetry, basically a wardrobe. So we have these doors up top, drawers on bottom, and then we wanted a long hang, so you don't have a handle here. When you open it, you actually have the opportunity for a long hang. When everything's closed, you get that faux panel as though this is a drawer. Went back and forth on whether or not to add a handle. We chose not to because we didn't want someone grabbing it. Even though it would open the door, it just doesn't make sense to do that. One of the details that really was a big part of the design here with Walker Architects is all of these windows that we have. We have skylights in the main space, and we have these windows that are pulling sunlight in. We didn't want to limit these 4 windows only to this space. So as I step into the bedroom here, we have these windows up top that allow the light to come through into our bedroom. We have it here, which is getting the window from the sitting space, but it's also taking the window from the bedroom and giving it back to the sitting space. We also have the one straight ahead here, so when you're laying in bed, you actually can see through and then up through the skylight. Again, letting that light not only feed the bathroom, but also feeds the bedroom. And and even cooler is that up and over this bathroom here, if you can kind of look through the electrician's ladder, there's actually another window that faces down into the courtyard. We can take a look at that down there. So looping around here, you can actually see as you're walking down the stair, you almost don't notice it, but this wall jogs way out. And at the very top there, you have that window that again grabs the skylight and pours it down into this courtyard, which the courtyard already has 3 additional skylights. You're just getting additional light down into this space, which makes a really big difference. Before we step down, I want to also talk about something that we haven't done a lot of, these acoustical panels. One of the things that was really important from the very beginning, if you remember in episode 1 of this job, we talked about the acoustics and how important, you know, a quiet home was. We've done Rockwell insulation, we have done isolation clips, we have done a resilient channel, we've done green glue with two layers of board before we plaster, everything to really hold the acoustics within the unit. And then we wanted to make sure that we weren't creating this echoing effect, especially in this two-story space. So we have these acoustical panels that are not only on the wall, but they're also affixed to the ceiling up here and pretty much throughout the entire space. What that's going to do is help basically capture a lot of the traveling sound within this home to prevent that, again, echoing. There's another acoustic detail on the other side. We'll hop up into that loft. But before we do, we'll step in here. We had talked about these vanities for quite some time, and this is actually the finished product with our switch. It looks like we got a little adjustment to do. You can see that that's built right into the side of our cabinet, and then we have our switches, but it's completely flush. Inside is still a work in progress, but I did want to just call attention to the fact that we'll have a box there hiding all the electrical, but we have this really cool detail where we hide the trap in the wall. And we have this access panel that basically trims that up, makes it nice and neat. But the reason that we do that, oftentimes because we don't want to see the trap on an exposed vanity. In this case, we wanted to increase the amount of space that we had for storage. So putting it in the wall allows us to do that, but also keeps it completely serviceable, thus code compliant. These vanities are built in our millwork shop. This is actually a flat pack design. So if you're interested in a vanity like this, we can get in touch. Feel free to get in touch with us. We can fabricate this, actually lay it down in a box and ship it out to you. That was the whole point of kind of looking at these vanities. Behind these two doors, we have that laundry room I showed you when we were in the entry. Let me open this up for you. So the machine will go in there. You can see the back side of that access panel. Again, once those machines are in, you're never going to have access to these valves. Really important that we have access in the back should we ever need it. It's kind of one of those things where it's not necessary, but it's a nice to have feature. And then this one here is our mechanical room. So guys did a great job installing everything. It's a Wiesmann all-in-one boiler with storage tank. And then on the floor, we've actually schlutered up the walls and we've tiled that, and you can actually see we have a stone curb here. So should there be any water that gets down into that, we're gonna have a water bug, we'll shut the water off, and all that water will contain rather than spilling out into the bathroom. But the guys did a nice, neat job. Something really important to us. We wanna make sure everything is nice and neat, clearly labeled, and easy to understand. Well, let's actually stop in the kitchen first. This is the painted finish. We have a lot of these fake or these faux panels where it appears as though we have multiple drawers, but they're full height doors with shelving and doors on the drawers on the inside. And then you get over to something like this. Same thing, it looks like it might be two drawers, but it's actually the dishwasher. Really want to keep that consistent reveal all the way around. You have this nice big drawer underneath the sink. This is a fake panel basically blocking off the sink. I want to show you a really cool thing with this faucet in a second. And then over in this corner, you have the trash unit, really big double unit. You have a composting bin, an area where you can keep your bags, where you can keep your bags and stuff up top here. Then looking at the corner unit, the same thing. Pulls out and we get that magic corner. Again, we're keeping that consistent two panel, so it almost looks like as though it's drawers. The architect detailed this really nice flush look, no overhang. Countertops are a Phoenix laminate material, new for us. A lot of learning that went on during the install and fabrication of this. But at the end of the day, really cool gray matted look. It looks really great against the light gray. This faucet's interesting. I had come here the other day and I had thought that this needed a piece slid over it. It's a really thin, almost like wiry handle which controls it. I said I'd break it. But what I was really surprised about is the fact that it doesn't have a pull down. And I had it on. I was sitting here trying to figure out how to turn this from a single stream to a spray, and realized the pull down actually is up inside that faucet. First time I've seen something like that. Really, really clean looking. Typically you have a line here, but this is a really, kind of one of those things where it's really minimal. You almost don't even realize what you're looking at until you go ahead and grab that out. Looping around, we have this cool backsplash handmade blue tile. This is where our cooktop will be. We've actually hidden the hood within this cabinet. This will get closed off. In this unit, we don't actually vent through the roof. This will be a recirculating, but we have directly above us our ERV exhaust. So any cooking smell will actually be captured within that ERV and exhausted out through the ERV itself. So here we have French door fridge, refrigerator. And then we have a matching pantry here. So that was all designed to be the same exact size, so everything was nice and symmetrical. One thing that we did here that we don't do a lot is all of our drawers are actually the Allegra boxes from Bloom. So you have these really almost industrial looking dark gray, pairs really well with the countertops and things like that. But we find that they're super smooth and really nice to work with. Kind of covered up here is this detail that on an episode of Revealed Ken walked through, but we've actually taken strips of oak and created this laminated oak looking countertop. You can actually see it there. And one of the details that we've been implementing in almost all of our jobs and becoming a standard very quickly for us is that we actually keep this up off the floor 1/8 of an inch. And sometimes we'll install a piece of metal. In this case, we actually installed a piece of 1/8 inch rubber. So when that came down, it gave us a really nice intentional separation. I know I use the word intentional 3,000 times. Everyone's looking at me behind the camera. But it gives us that intentional line, so it keeps that separation, and especially when you're staining the floor, you don't get that stain rolling up onto that. Back here, it was really a big experiment for us, the way we built these shelves. If you haven't seen the fabrication video, you should go back and look at it. It's really interesting how all this stuff was fabricated and then lapped together, and then how we actually used MDF on the back and the sides. And this right here is actually an aluminum stop bead that we epoxied so we could plaster into that stop bead. And it looks as though this is all plaster, but like I said, the back and the two sides are all MDF to give us a really nice square corner. Because if you've ever done shelving wall to wall, you know that when it's drywall or plaster, that you're almost never guaranteed a perfectly flat surface, especially on the inside corner. You get a lot of that buildup. This actively avoided that, so we had a nice crisp inside corner for these shelves. Unfortunately, the homeowner had a small delivery of some of their belongings, so we're a little cramped back here. I'll share more about this space in a future episode, but let's head upstairs. Rich Costa also fabricated this handrail. This sits on top of a wood staircase. Originally had been designed to be steel, but we actually value engineered it back, which I think was a great detail. It's kind of back of house, but we did decide to stick with the handrail. So you have that gray painted steel with that exposed stainless steel, and then the plates are recessed into that stringer. But one detail that was it was actually an afterthought, but a very much a necessary afterthought, was up here. This thing was rocking back and forth because we're really relying on these two bolts down into an LVL to support all that weight. Well, guys came up with this great detail, basically a crush block. And if you can kind of imagine that escutcheon here that's sitting on top of the plaster actually has a nub on the back of it, the same thickness as your wall board. So when you put a screw in here and you tighten that up, you're not going to crush the plaster. That nub is actually sitting against your structural stud. So now you're not crushing, you're actually crushing against the wood rather than the plaster. So now it's nice and stiff and keeps that railing right where it needs to be. The last place is this office space, and I had mentioned that there's another acoustic detail, and it's this right here. This is actually just regular Homosote. So it's really for some additional acoustic properties. We did paint it, which we know impacts the acoustic property a little bit, but it's really designed to help a little bit with the acoustics, but primarily be a pin board, so our homeowner can pin up documents. When he's at his workstation over here, he can have stuff pinned up there, whatever the case is. And the nice part, it's inexpensive. We can pull that down and put up a new sheet and repaint it. And then again, in our mill workshop, we built this awesome cabinetry. This is all a painted gray with drawers everywhere, these cute little shallow drawers. We built these in modular sections, and this actually sits on top of all the HVAC for this space. So if you get down low here, rather than having slotted diffusers, we actually have this continuous gap. And if you look right here, you can actually feel it. This right here is where your air escapes. So it's working its way up into this cavity, and you can actually see the other side. It goes out the wall on one side and up and over the toe kick on this side to help keep the comfort of this space. And then we worked with our sheet metal fabricator to fabricate these pans. He's going to fill this with, I believe, a river rock and have plants all along the top of this. And these actually can come out, but this is strictly to just capture any moisture or any of the dirt or anything to prevent any damage from the cabinetry in these nice sheet metal pans, which we actually did the same thing down below in the kitchen here. It's going to be a very similar detail. End of that island, you have a stainless trough for plants and, you know, to prevent moisture. But guys, we have a lot of work ahead of us, so I'm going to let these guys get back to work. I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek at what was going on over here. Stay tuned as we finish this place. In a future episode, we'll do a full walkthrough, uncovering all of the hard work that we've been working on for the better part of the last year. And stay tuned for another episode of Revealed, the NS podcast. We'll see you guys next week.